every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. You tune into Rock On Radio, and Danny Coleman's going to put that music all over the radio, man. Okay? You listen.
Nice. I tell you what, Manny. I can't even have a kid with her. Pacino bringing us in tonight here on Rock On Radio. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Danny Coleman, and I am joined in studio, as always, by Engineer Art.
Hello.
Yo, Art, we have a new YouTube link. Or no, what did you just say? What were we talking about?
Listening.
No, on the Listen link, there's a Listen Live. So if you go to the Listen Now page
On COARadio.com.
on COARadio.com, and you have any problems with that player, there's a link right underneath that will take you to another web player that you really shouldn't have any problems with.
Woohoo.
And there you have it.
Yes.
See, problem-free
Right from the
listening.
horse's mouth.
Problem-free radio.
So I have two players to choose from, and of course, the preferred method would be the app.
Yes. And we can find that how?
Right on COARadio.com. There's an apps page there. You can get, or you can go to either
Google Play Store or
Yep.
Apple.
Or the Apple Store and just search COA Radio and we
show
should
it for
cover
both phones.
That's
Perfect.
great.
Yes,
and it
both
plays 24/7.
There you go.
All over.
And producer Claire is here.
I am. Hello.
If you weren't there, where would you be?
Undisclosed location, usually.
Undisclosed. You hear that, Art? Undisclosed.
My cave in Afghanistan,
Once again.
where I spend all summer.
Nice.
She comes back pale.
Like any other time of the year. You're right. Come back.
She's got her Irish up. Always. Rock On Radio is coming to you live on COARadio.com as well as SocietyBitesRadio.com. And if you happen to be listening on Anchor FM or Spotify, hello. It is a
Welcome.
pleasure. We welcome you
Mhm.
to yet another thrilling episode of Rock On Radio. A thrill a minute here.
Well, that was 1
All
minute.
right, that's done. We're thrilled
1
beyond
minute's
belief.
done.
There you go. Rock On Radio is brought to you by Jody Weber. Jody Weber will go hungry no more.
Really? Oh, that's right.
Jody Weber had just received
She
a
will
fresh
never
supply
be
of,
hungry again.
a fresh supply of Crock On chili.
Danny Coleman.
Because it's tax season. And she is a CPA.
And she needs it.
That's it. Actress Eileen Sullivan also sponsors us. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey, the official caterers of Rock On Radio. Zen Archer Hot Sauce, DL Byron, our favorite Grammy Award-winning hot sauce maker. And who else? Oh, no, not Necklace Carrier. We're just
course.
talking about
Let's
Jennifer.
talk about Jennifer.
That's right. No, not Necklace Carrier. And bridalmusic.org. If you're having an affair with a, you need a little
in
bit
need
of
of music.
a little bit of background music, maybe a cocktail hour or a cocktail party or
Business.
a little
Mhm.
business function. You can contact Michelle at Bridal Music, and she will provide. Bridalmusic.org. Who else?
Custom.
Oh, the Candle Company, Custom Candle Company of New York.com, NY.com, or CBD Live, or CBD Live Natural.
Natural.com.
Is it CBDnatural.com?
I think so. Go out to your website, whatever's out there.
Well, whatever it is, find it, people.
Google it.
Google it. Anyway, now Custom Candle Company in New York and CBD Natural Oils. Same business. So, once you get all CBD'd up, you can listen to, you can relax with the soy
watch
candles.
Your candle.
That's it.
Ooh.
No, those can't, come on now. Those candles are cool.
Oh, they are. That's what I'm saying. They could be so mesmerized.
They
after
are.
they have their
Well, the CBD
oil.
is not going to help you do that.
Well, whatever. I don't know. Manage your pain.
It's just my imagination.
Once again.
Running away with me. The candles are really cool, actually. They're made from old liquor bottles.
Yours.
Yes, personally supplied by me. They have my unearthly secretions. No, she takes them and she sends them to a glazier, and they round off the edges. Then she fills them with some sort of soy wax and scented, and they're really cool. They last forever. There's no
that's
planned obsolescence with these things.
I think we should have one in the studio here.
Yeah,
So we
I
should
think
burn
we
it, have it
should.
on YouTube so people could see it.
Probably turn out all the lights. It'll be like mood lighting. All right, I'll get busy.
And we'll do some CBD oil. And
Time to go to the Lightstown Liquors. When Cardooner's closed, I cried.
I delivered there every Wednesday.
Yeah, my father I used to deliver there. What else do we have, Claire? Why am I? Oh, Claire, what's our website?
DCROR.com.
That's right. For those watching on radio, you can see that right behind our guest's head, and we'll talk about him in a second.
Just a second.
DCROR.com. So you want to find out more about Rock on Radio, my chili empire, Rock on Chili, my new show, Danny Coleman's Got the Blues, which airs Monday evenings, 7 p.m. on WWFM 89.1 HD2 radio out of Trenton, or WWFM 91.1 FM HD2 out of Toms River, New Jersey. So
Down that
those
way.
people down the
Cool.
shore, like our guest tonight, who lives very close to Toms River, he can listen to it. You can listen to it on your car radio on Monday nights, 7 to 8 o'clock. Or for those of you at home who no longer own radios or cars, you can listen to the program by going to Jazz on 2, the number 2, jazzon2.org. And you'll hear Danny Coleman's Got the Blues, where I play old blues music, new blues music, and a lot of local original artists' blues music. I also play blues from around the globe. Yeah, something's buzzing. Somebody. Your laptop? Is that what it is? Somebody.
Either that or there's
I
a
thought it
big
was a
fly around your
phone.
head.
We have, actually, this week, tomorrow night, or depending on when you're listening to this Monday show, it's not archived anywhere, so you either have to listen or
You miss
not.
it.
Yeah, tune in or you're done. But unless like
I'm gonna add them. You're gonna need to resend it. You know,
you're gonna
it
add them
expired
too?
before.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put a page up.
So Art will archive them here at City of Angels. There you go. That's the woo. Hey. So you'll be able to hear them here soon too. And that's who will I have this tomorrow night show? Depending on when you're listening to it, you could have missed it, but I'm featuring local guys Dave Orban and the Mojo Gypsies and jazz guitarist Dick Gratton. At the end of the evening, we have the Fiedler Files, where I have Jeff Fiedler, our friend from Aqualung Records. We play a couple of the 78 RPMs that he sent me. I let him go too. I let him go with the scratches and the pops and
They sound cool.
and they're 78 RPM records. So I do that too. And
finally,
we are
podcasting.
podcast on anchor.fm
Our sponsor.
and Spotify.
Mhm.
And all you have to do if you want to listen to any of the shows over the last month, right? We began beginning
We
of
have like
January.
6 or 7 shows already.
Right.
Podcasts.
There's some shows up there that didn't go out over the air. Well, they did go out over the air, but they were on a special night. Like Taylor Davis was
No doubt.
on a Saturday
That's right.
afternoon, and Carvin Walls was the day after Christmas.
It's like 3 of them.
Yeah, there's several shows up there that didn't air at the normal time on Sunday nights, but they're airing now and on the podcast. So all you have to do is type in Rock On Podcast, which is also our Facebook page, our Instagram, and do we have anything else? No, that's it, right? Facebook
Yeah,
and
you have
Instagram.
Twitter for the other stuff.
We haven't, well, for the Rock On Podcast, you can go to Facebook, type in Danny Coleman's Rock On Podcast, or Instagram is Rock On Podcast. And if you would follow us there, or at least come by and click a like button, just do something to help me out, please.
Oh.
I don't want to sound desperate.
No?
Too late.
Does it smell like either? But you can, yes, you can find us there. And what else were we? Oh yeah, if you want to follow Rock On Radio, you can also do that by going to Instagram or Twitter at Rock On Radio, all one word and all capital letters. And Facebook is Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2, the number 2. So that's how you can find us and reach out to us. You could do that tonight because at 7:30 we have Dave the Rave calling in with his New York City rock and roll review, traffic and weather. And at 8 o'clock we have the Deuce Music Minute. And I got a special thing coming up very shortly. Actually, you know what, Art? Let's do that. Let's do that right now. Why don't we do that right now?
What are we doing right now?
Our friend,
No, we're not. No, we're not.
our friend Kevin John Allen, and then we'll get to our guest. Let's introduce our guest while you're pulling that up.
Yeah.
He is from
Stall tactics.
he is from the borough.
The borough.
He is from the borough. He is not just from any borough.
Not one of the 5 boroughs.
No, no, it's not even close to the 5 borough.
No?
No, but he's from the borough.
Not the beach.
Not
but the borough.
not the beach, the borough. And I'm not talking about Punxsutawney Phil's borough either. He is from Point
None other.
Pleasant Borough. He is Paul Marzano.
Well, I know that.
Sunday.
Raceway.
Raceway Park. Remember them old commercials?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, God, yeah. God, yeah.
And he was from North Jersey.
Oh, yeah. North Jersey. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that where you're from?
Lyndhurst. Those,
Oh,
yeah. I was born in Newark, raised in Lyndhurst. Yeah, I did the Meadowlands
And
there.
you still knew that. That was the next town over where I grew up. That was in Englishtown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so you couldn't go to Englishtown at all, like when those races were going on.
you
No.
couldn't go to
was
English
one
Town
road in,
anytime
one
they had
road
a
out.
swap meet.
Yeah.
No, it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. There was one road in, one road out.
There was also a famous concert there, right? The Dead
The
played
Dead
there.
played
Yeah.
Englishtown,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't hit that one, but that's
Yeah.
legendary.
Yeah, I remember they hit the one at Caldwell where I went to school, and they never did a concert series again because all the deadheads broke in all the houses and peed on lawns. And
Oh,
it was fun.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I heard those good stories.
I actually blame
like
most
the-
of society's problems on the Grateful Dead breakfast cereal.
That kind of happened in Hamilton, though, after the Allman Brothers.
After the Allman Brothers,
At the
right?
Oh, is that the
fairground.
same thing?
Yeah. There was a liquor store, like they looked like they were going out of business. There was nothing
On the
shelf.
shelves, yeah.
None of them.
Ransacked.
The Allman
They had to
Brothers, the state fairgrounds for New Jersey used to be located in Hamilton Township.
Cool.
Just literally only a few hundred yards from
My front door.
Oh, wow.
and Art's front door, right. And back in, God, was that 74, 75, something like that? And I was young. And the Allman Brothers played there. Aerosmith played there. And they only had a handful of concerts because they still had races up until my sophomore year in high school. They still ran stock cars and Indy cars there.
Wow.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, that kind of after the Allman Brothers, I kind of
That one took it. Yep.
Yeah, how about that? Just let me know when you're ready. Art.
Give you like 2 more seconds.
Okay.
I'm just filler.
Good.
Get it done over there, would you?
Do you know? Actually, we're gonna play. I'm gonna play it tonight. There's an artist from Allenwood, up heading towards Keyport, is where Kevin John Allen is from.
Allenwood.
Yeah,
Allenwood.
Kevin John Allen lives up there.
Okay.
Allen and
I
Allenwood.
can't remember
yeah.
what town he lives in right now to save my life, and hopefully he's listening. But Kevin John Allen is a prolific writer. He's written many tunes. He's gotten some placements. He's done a lot of things. Do you
Nice.
know Kevin?
I don't know.
He was at the Cafe Artiste for Light of Day.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
he's around.
Wearing
check
his
him out.
Rock on Radio gear.
He
Thank you very
was,
much, Kevin John
yes.
Allen.
Nice. I'll go check him out.
Yeah.
Right? So
He's got a
he
deep
actually.
voice.
Ooh.
It's like the Three Stooges got conked in the head.
We really are
So-
sometimes.
Didn't mean it that way, but okay.
we could do it that way.
And Kevin actually just sent me a new song, and he asked me if I would be the one to debut it on radio.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm going to do that. It's a song that he did with a fellow by the name of John Fernandez and his band, John Fernandez and the Incinerators. I like that.
Sounds hot.
They did the disc. They're working on the disc, and it came out of Steve Jankowski's place, Jankland Studios, and it's got
Ooh, there it is.
there you go.
There's
Let's see.
Kevin,
We got it. It could be Kevin
maybe?
already. I might be
Mm.
early. That's why he's probably like panicking. What are you doing? Welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Hello,
Hello.
is this the Danny Coleman show?
This sure is. Who is this, please?
This is China Blue calling, not your mother.
China, how are you?
Danny, how you doing?
We are fantastic. That's right. China Blue. I knew there was somebody else. I told you I was going to tell you I was supposed to call today.
No, that was on the itinerary. I was
Somebody in the
aware.
wings.
I was aware.
She called and broke up the Kevin John Allen hour. How are you, China?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
We are fantastic. We are. I am here in studio with my engineer Art and my producer Claire and my guest Mr. Paul Marzano this
Woo.
evening.
From the borough.
He's from the borough. That's right.
Hello, all.
Hello.
So China, now you have a very interesting. You have a very interesting thing going on there. You combine. It's well, tell us about what it is you do. It's scientifically motivated, if I recall, correct?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I do a lot of science and I do a lot of art, and I mix them together, and one version comes out as music. To make it simple.
There you go. See, for us lay people.
Well, I can get complicated with if you want, but we could get lost in the forest and the trees.
Oh, I've been lost in the forest and the trees. Sometimes I can't see the forest through the trees.
I'm
is
there
true.
more often than not.
All right, so tell us exactly. Explain to our listeners what it is that you do.
Well, I'm an artist.
Mhm.
I started out as a visual artist doing paintings and sculptures, and I started working with a scientist who is interested in space science. And somehow or another, we started collaborating together, working on some of my projects. And I ended up deviating from the kind of work that I normally do and making sort of science-inspired visual arts, like great big installations with images of Saturn and the sounds of Saturn that I worked with him to discover. We discovered the sound hidden in Saturn's rings for NASA, for example.
Wow.
So what we did was we took these sounds and made them into something that, like they were coarse, they were crude, they were interesting, but they didn't capture my attention a lot. So I wanted to make them into something that was more full and rich and musically kind of oriented. So that was the structure of the music that I made.
Oh, okay.
And that was this complex jumping off point for this new direction that I'm working on, focusing on space science and art, and one permutation is making it into music.
Okay. And now that you've done this, what are we doing as far as a market goes? I mean, what are we
As a
planning on?
what?
How are you marketing it to the masses, so to speak?
The final product is an album called Cassini's Dreams.
Okay.
And Cassini was one of the NASA ships that was floating around in space for 20 years and primarily researching Saturn. And that was and the basis of the music is from the viewpoint of the spacecraft Cassini. And if you were Cassini, what you would have heard.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's part imaginative, part based on fact.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. Right. So
based on real research and real science.
okay. All right, so when you, I mean, how did you? You didn't just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, I want to do this." You know, what led you to take these steps?
Well, it was a little of both, actually.
Okay.
It was, you know, inspiration sort of comes with a lot of research and background, and you plod through a lot of material, but in the end, it does end up being you wake up one day and you go, hey, what about? So I work with, as I was mentioning, the space science researcher who works for Brown University. And then I also work with a composer who's the guy that created the T-Mobile ringtone, if you know that famous sound.
Right.
Ba-da-da-da-da. And we put our heads together, which we often do, because we're all friends. We're all really, really close friends. And we put our heads together, and the scientist throws an idea into the pot, and I throw an idea into the pot, and the musician says, how about this? And we just kind of mix and stir up the pot and come out with these results.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, so how can we?
Making it too simple.
There. Well, that's fine. I'm a simple man. So, all right. So, how can we find you, and how can we find the music?
The music can be found at CD Baby.
Okay.
It's called Cassini's Dreams.
And that's CASSINI.
INI apostrophe S.
Okay. It's an
Dreams.
It's an 11-track algorithmic based album.
There you go. You found it.
There you go, which is very cool. Our producer Claire has it in the Facebook event. And
nice.
There you go. Well, we're going to play a little snippet from it right now, China. Thank you so much for taking the time to call us. We appreciate that. We're going to play a little snippet from it, and then we're going to get back to our guest, Mr. Marzano. How's that?
Okay. And do you need me after this?
Nope. You're done. You're done with us. You can wash your hands of us.
Oh, gosh. That was quick and dirty.
There you go. That's how we like it. All right. Thank you.
Hey, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for listening into it.
There you go.
Thanks, Jenna.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
Rock on. There you go. Art, there is a very small 30-second snippet there. You see that? Track number 1? Okay. Let's see what this sounds like. And then we're going to get back to Kevin John Allen and Paul Marzano. And here it is. This is from Cassini's Dream.
This is what Saturn sounds.
There we go. All right. See that?
Ooh, you've heard of the sounds of silence.
It's listed under the electronica thing.
I see.
All right. Getting back. And now Dave the Rave's going to talk too. So we're going to have to have Paul back.
Yeah, right? Poor Paul. He's just sitting back.
Hello. I want to say hello.
Hello.
Say hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Say hello, just so we can keep you in the loop. All right.
It's wonderful to be here. It's certainly a thrill.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd hear Saturn tonight?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd hear Saturn tonight.
It's pretty cool. Though.
All right. Anyway, Kevin John Allen has asked us to debut this latest disc, or this latest tune. It is called Alabama Heartbreaker, I should say. Let me pull that up again because I had to get out of where we were to get to China Blue. There, that's it. Alabama Heartbreaker, and this is by Kevin John Allen. He did it with John Fernandez and the Incinerators. And here it is, making its radio debut on Rock On Radio. And we'll be right back with Paul Marzano, Dave the Rave, the Deuce Music Minute, and more. Stay tuned.
Alabama heartbreaker. My, that girl looks so fine. Long tan legs and her daisy dukes. I wish she were mine. Alabama heartbreaker. Ruby lips and long blonde hair. Skinny dipping down at the pond. Living life without a care. Oh, baby, you are so fine. You know, I get the shirt on my back just to make you mine. Alabama heartbreaker. Tomboy Frankie was my friend. Kitchen frogs down at the pond. Swore we'd be together till the end. Oh, Alabama, you were so fine. I did the shirt on my back to make you mine. Alabama heartbreaker. Years later, you know we're all grown up. Francesca, you're a lovely woman. God's gift from above. Oh, Alabama, you are so fine. Oh, get the shirt off my back, baby, to make you mine. My sweet Alabama.
Kevin John Allen with John Fernandez and the Incinerators. I like it when Kevin John Allen gets dirty. That was grungy. I like it.
That was
I
great.
like it.
I like that. Yeah.
I love it. Here on Rock On Radio, he was sandwiched around Saturn.
Yeah,
Who else can say that,
not many.
right? I'm surprised I don't
Cassini.
have a message from him already. Coleman, what are you doing? I didn't know, Kev, I swear. Welcome to Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman. Our guest tonight is Mr. Paul Marzano. Yeah. Thank you for your incredible patience, sir.
Well, I think it's a 2-hour show. I was like, I'll have 2 hours of
No, don't worry about
shtick.
it. We'll make
Thanks for
sure.
eating up a half of it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I appreciate it.
See, it doesn't usually happen this way, although it does sometimes. I've noticed as this show gets older that happens. But this is going to be your favorite part of the show, right?
Yes.
Oh, what's this?
This is going to be your favorite part of the show right now.
Oh, it's the 7:30 call.
It is Dave the Rave. What's happening, Dave?
Hey guys, how are you all?
We're waiting anxiously for you, my friend.
Well, obviously, before we even begin, I'm sure you've been talking about it. My report will be overshadowed by the passing of Kobe Bryant earlier today out in California, Calabasas, California, the helicopter crash. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that and, say that that's why you need to turn to the person to your left and to your right throughout your life and say, hey, in case I don't come home tonight, you mean the world to me.
And there you go.
Truth.
Anyway,
True story.
Dave the Rave did not call up to be Debbie Downer. So
That's your.
this is what we...
That's your feminine side, Debbie Downer. Sorry, Dave. I lost my head for a minute. Okay, go ahead.
It's okay, Danny. I don't mind.
Where's
It's that
producer
side-
Jenny?
Listen, Jen, it's that side that makes a good lasagna. Remember that.
That's right. True. So go ahead, Dave. What do you have for us tonight?
All right, well, let's start off real quick with some New York City metro area traffic and weather, if that's okay with you. The traffic right now in the city is a little screwed up because there's a multi-vehicle accident on the FDR northbound right at 53rd. So if you're in Manhattan and you're trying to get north on the east side to get out of the city, just take 1st or 3rd Avenue because the FDR is a parking lot. I don't have any information on the west side, but I would imagine at this time on a Sunday evening, as long as everybody's behaving, things are moving smoothly.
I imagine so. Remember that
Current,
when you go on your way home.
currently,
Oh, yeah. Do we have a borough
I'm
traffic
sorry.
report?
Go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. My guest lives in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. He's heading northeast, so this might affect him. So go ahead.
It's it's the echo in that room that screws me up, Dan. I apologize. Right now it's 43 and cloudy in the city. It's going down to 36 tonight. Monday we're going to have a mix of sun and clouds early, and then it's going to become cloudy later in the day with a high of 45 and a low of 34. The temperatures are going to continue to drop throughout the week into Thursday, but they're going to make a rebound on Friday, and they're going to climb back up to something comfortable towards the weekend.
Fantastic.
And that's what I have for your New York City metro traffic and weather. Yay, Dave!
So what do you have for rock and roll for us?
Before I start, I'd like to point out that this is a brand new tongue in my mouth.
A transplant?
Okay. I've got 2 good shows for you, Dan. I'm actually happy about this. I really dug for these 2. Although this wasn't my thing, I give them props because this band that I'm about to mention has been around. Coming up in October of 2020, they would get 30 years. And whether or not you're a fan of their music, you have to respect the longevity. And we're talking about the Spin Doctors, and we've got them Thursday, January 30th at the Brooklyn Bowl down on White Avenue in Brooklyn. It's a 21 and over show. Doors at 6. The show is at 8. Tickets are still available, and they're starting cheap at $20. Again, this is the Spin Doctors. They're actually going to put out a new album this year, too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Chris Barron just put out a solo one within the last year, and he was telling me that they're set to come out. They're still making music, so that's fantastic. Good call, Dave the Rave.
Woo!
Yeah, that's that. I was happy about that one. I read an article on them, and they weren't my cup of tea because I liked heavier stuff at that time in my life. But as a musician, I can respect what they're doing. Now, always, Danny, never lets us down. Great show coming up Saturday, February 1st. My favorite venue to talk about, Beacon Theater, Grace Potter.
Ooh.
Saturday, February 1st, Grace Potter, 8 o'clock. Tickets are still available. Check this out. $32.50 is what they're starting at.
Nice.
And if you've ever seen this woman on YouTube or, on cable or live or heard her on the radio, she's got pipes. She's got chutzpah and she's got pipes. And I think she's going to put on a great show.
Great. Is she with the Nocturnals?
Got her in my eye.
No.
There you go.
No.
She's on her own.
I didn't see I'll be honest. I didn't see the Nocturnals mentioned in the advertisement when I was fishing for shows. Did that gentleman say that he knew something that I didn't?
No, he said he's got her in his music.
Yeah, I got Grace Potter in my iPod, my
There you go.
iTunes. Yeah, she's awesome.
iTunes.
She's really
Grace Potter. She did a great show a couple years ago. Was it last year or the year before? She did a great show at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, which was close to me, and unfortunately, I missed it. But yeah, she's fantastic. Another good choice, Dave the Rave.
2 for 2.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you guys this evening.
All right, sir. We'll talk to you through the week and definitely again next Sunday.
All right, rock on.
Rock on, Dave the Rave, New York City Rock and Roll Review, traffic and weather, which has absolutely no effect on this program, which is why we do it.
People could be in the city tonight. You know?
It could be. I'm not sure how many people are listening to
Dave
us.
is.
In the city.
Dave is, yeah.
Right.
So there you go. Well, I don't know because he said, I'm sure you're talking about it. He thought we were talking about Kobe Bryant. We haven't mentioned him once.
No, not yet. I just
Very
we
sad.
talked about it before him.
Dave, it's like 7:20 now. I got to call Danny.
Oh, no.
7:34. Goodbye. What's happening, Paul?
Oh,
All right, it's all
nothing
you
much.
from now on. I promise. Get the next hour and a half.
Oh, all right. All Paul all the time.
All Paul
There we go.
all the time. So okay, so you were born and raised in North Jersey.
Yep. Mhm.
How did you migrate down to Point Pleasant?
Let's see. It was the borough. Late 80s in a band, and we're playing North Jersey. And we had our manager call us and say, hey, there's a show at the Brighton Bar. Somebody canceled. You guys want to go down to the Brighton Bar?
Such a fine
Such a fine establishment. This is like 80, probably 86.
Okay.
I'm going way back.
Mhm.
And
And it's still there.
yeah, it's still there. And went down there and we had a show. Happened to meet a girl at that show. Wound up marrying her.
Oh,
Had 2 kids with her.
Nice.
Now we're divorced, but still friends. And then I
So we got a lot of similarities there.
yeah
Except for the friends part.
yeah
He's a lucky one.
You try. And so I wound up moving to Red Bank, and then I stood down here, raised kids here, and I love it.
Mm.
Yeah, I
That's
love
not so
the
bad.
Jersey Shore.
Mm.
It's good stuff, man.
So you're a Benny
So-
that stayed.
I'm a perma Benny.
You're
I'm
perma-Benny.
perma Benny. Yeah, so I've been here since then. So probably long time.
He's Benny Official.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Exactly.
Oh gosh, before you know it, it'll be Memorial Day and the Bennies will be back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's it. That's how I wound up here. Not such a crazy story, but
That's good.
but you asked.
That's right.
I did.
I felt
Well,
obligated to tell.
See, the beauty of this program is I know absolutely nothing about you.
That is
So
the
I need
perfect.
to know.
It's always good to be a curious host.
That's like, did you know? I didn't know. Apparently, our people know because did you last week's podcast, Jay and Amy?
Mhm.
Did you read the bio
Of
of that David or whoever it is, our marketing people
our
put on
marketing
the?
people? No, I didn't.
Did you? I didn't know this.
It just
but
came on, so I didn't.
Amy is a former Miss Staten Island, and she competed in the
Wow.
Miss New York competition.
Wow. Well, I could see that. She's
She-
gorgeous.
well,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that, and she didn't offer that up.
See, well,
See?
that's why.
Proving once again, I do no research.
You don't. There's no need to prove that.
Oh, there's another call.
This could be for
Who
you.
could this be?
Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Hi, it's Maureen.
Maureen.
Mo. Hey.
There you go. It's somebody for you. I
Is
told
it- is
you.
it-
You.
Is it Maureen from the
I
borough?
didn't realize that Paul came to Point Pleasant via Red Bank.
He did. He did.
Yes.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, there was a stopover for 18 years in Red
There was a
Bank.
layover for 18 years. I understand.
There was an 18-year layover, but we successfully landed.
And those back
I love
taxes.
Paul's music, and that's what I'm calling him.
There-
Well, we're gonna let him-
Amazing.
We're gonna let him play something in about 10 seconds.
I
for us.
can't wait to
Jesus.
hear 10 seconds. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll get
no,
off the phone. I won't.
no. You stay right where you're at. But right after you're done, we're gonna let him play some music.
Did he mention Laura Ray yet?
I didn't mention Laura
He
Ray.
hasn't had a chance to
I love
talk
it.
yet.
I barely mentioned myself.
Point Pleasant because
Oh, there's Laura.
of Laura
Oh, jeez, don't. Oh no, that's not Laura. I don't know what's going on. Hey, listen. Listen, I told you not to start drinking before 8. Okay.
Take these phone calls. Now let us hear him sing.
Well, we're gonna let him
boy,
sing.
this is
Who is Laura Ray?
Laura Ray. I don't. She's not on the phone, but she is my fiance.
Oh, you're doing it again.
My
huh?
There you go.
We call her.
Laura Ray. Don't forget the name.
That's
And
right.
that's why he's in Point Pleasant.
Now,
That's
wait a
true.
minute.
That's how I got. That's true. That's how I got to Point Pleasant.
More. Oh, she just hung up on us. Wow, she had enough of us. She didn't give me a chance to. So I'll ask you now.
Now I'm on the spot.
Now you're going to be on the
I
spot.
like the diversion, but
Now-
go ahead.
Is her name Laura Ray? Is her
Ray.
last name, or is that like her first and middle name?
You know, that's a great question because it sounds like kind of a first name, middle name.
Well,
Laura
could go either
Ray.
way.
I'm Laura Ray.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from downtown, south. South, thank you.
Mhm.
No, her last wow.
South
her-
Red Bank.
South Red Bank. South. No, that's South Borough. She's off. Yeah. So it's Laura. Yeah, this is her last name, Laura Ray. Not the middle name,
Okay.
like Laura May Bell or
Like-
something like that.
Like Michael Ray.
Like Michael.
Like our
Ray.
friend Michael Ray.
There you
Yes.
go. There you
Okay.
go.
Well, let's let him do some music.
Mhm.
Are we going to spin a track or are we going to play live?
You know what?
Uh-oh.
You pick.
I pick.
Because you've been so incredibly patient with the mayhem that has happened here this evening, you decide.
All right.
Now, I actually have no control over my own show, so you tell me what you want.
He
Let's
does.
see. I've got my little song list here. This is for hopefully the next album, but this is the album right here. Oh, by the way, should I plug? Should I go ahead and plug?
Let's plug, because
So-
you have a CD here.
It's called Mood Swing Serenade. We did not rehearse that.
No, very
Danny's
beautiful.
an improviser. I like it.
Yes,
That's
Goes with the flow.
it comes with no research. You have to improvise. Yes. So yeah, Mood Swing Serenade. It is it's out there on all your streaming devices and platforms, I should say. And my website is just my name. So www.paulmarzano.com.
So your name's WW.
www. Do we even do www anymore? No, it's just paulmarzano.com. I'm showing my 80s.
I do that sometimes too, though.
www. So you can there's links there to everything, and got 12 songs on there. So but yeah, I'll play a tune, and then maybe you could spin one later. But let me do a live one. Now you said let's see. I'm going to do one called Conspiracy Theory.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh,
yes.
Yes,
That's
I've
right,
heard.
you remember that
I'm
one.
the reason Paul's here.
Yes, it is.
yes. He matter of fact, he told me that on the phone. I'm only coming because Claire is there.
Yes.
Claire
That's
is
what he said.
there.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
Claire's
what he
on the
said.
air. Mhm.
Claire is there on the air. Oh, I like that. I do like that. So this one's a little
Claire is here. She's such a dear.
Oh goodness.
That's not on this disc, I see.
It is not.
Okay.
It's not. So I'm going to play one that's not on the disc, and then maybe we'll. I don't know. We could burn the disc, and
Well, how many CDs do you have?
this is the one.
The one, the only.
I have stuff that
So it's your greatest hits.
my greatest hits. Yes. Stuff from the old days and bands and stuff like that. But this is, I got, just songs like we all do, having boxes and cassette tapes and everywhere. So I was like, let me just put this out. And once you put one out, you want to do the next one. So I'm already starting to work on that. So I'm, trying tunes out to see the reaction. Claire likes this one, so
I
let's see
do.
if anybody else does.
Mhm.
There you go.
I'll go. I'll give it a
Paul
shot.
Marzano.
Well, it's all a hoax. We never landed on the moon. Global warming, front page fake news. Chemtrails, it never fails. They take us to fools. The Illuminati world body makes all the rules, yeah. Whole system's rigged, man. Well, JFK was killed by the mob. 9/11 was an inside job. And Kurt Cobain was killed by Courtney Love. Barack Obama was born in Kenya. Well, I'm down in the basement, taking statements, filing queries, working on my conspiracy theory. Well, take no chances, spare the vaccination. There's a deep state controlling the nation, and the earth is flat. By every estimation, got aliens living up on the space station while I'm down in the basement taking statements, dodging Siri. Shh. I'm working on my conspiracy theory. Yeah. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you should avoid watching your back. You better watch your back. Just because they say it's true doesn't mean it is. So you better check your facts. You better cover your tracks. Yeah, JFK was killed by the mob. 9/11 was an inside job. And Kurt Cobain was killed by a gun. He left a note, everyone, and I'm working on my conspiracy theory. 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 Yeah.
Paul Marzano, nice here on Rock On Radio.
It's just a conspiracy.
That's it.
No facts. There was no religion. There were no politics. They were just conspiracy theories.
Conspiracies.
Okay,
Just
just
a
making
list.
sure.
You know,
It's just a list.
Just a list.
It's just a list.
there's a gentleman that I work with, and when he used to work in the same company, but the different department, he always used to just wander through my area, and he would look and say, I'm telling you, Danny, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. And he would just shake his head. Well, now he's my coworker. And the other day I was thinking to myself, man, he hasn't come up with any conspiracies lately. And now here you are doing that.
You play in the song.
Right?
That's
See that?
right.
It's too funny.
There's always one.
609-241-7103. If you want to talk to Paul, coming up at 8 o'clock, we have the Deuce Music Minute featuring Tim Alton. He's from Wales over in the UK, so we'll be playing a track from
I
him.
speak well.
Do you?
That's an elephant.
No, that would be. Anyway.
The first one sounded like my stomach. The second one, I don't want to
Well,
tell
what do
you.
whales sound
Sounded
like?
like one of those.
Did you ever go get a massage and they play them sounds of
Oh, yeah, it's
whales and
whale
stuff, and you're like,
sounds.
what the heck is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, whales
Soothing.
do not sound like Doris the Finkosaurus. Good Lord, Paul.
Sorry.
You ever seen Finding Nemo? She speaks whale.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She does.
That's right. That's what that
Oh.
was.
The heck was that?
That was my whale sound.
Oh. Paul Marzano's greatest
Great.
whale sound.
Woo!
Coming to you.
Ventriloquist.
Available now for download. So how long have you been making whale
sounds?
sounds?
Making whale sounds. I've been last 5 minutes.
Nice. See that? Another talent is birthed on Rock On Radio. Hey, so how long have you been? Is guitar the only instrument?
I started. If you had done your research, no, I'm kidding. No, I started.
You wouldn't be here if I had done my research.
That's
So then I would know nothing. I would know everything. I wouldn't have to ask you any questions.
Exactly. No, I'm. I started a saxophone, first instrument, when I was like 10 years old,
Okay.
and so that was my formal music training. What was that?
Blip. He
Somebody
speaks
changed
whale.
Oh, there's Laura Ray. Laura. Oh
Ooh.
no, she hung up again. I don't know. Yeah, so I started playing saxophone, then went down the journey of bass guitar for bands.
Okay.
Always hard to find a bass player, so that was my quick way into a band.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
yeah. And then my first live performance was at sophomore year in high school, and it was the most devastating disaster and embarrassment anyone could ever really experience. The story is this. I go to an all-boys Catholic school called Queen of Peace High School, which is now defunct. They ran out of money 2 years ago, seriously.
Wow.
It was very sad. After like 60, 70 years, they no more money. But anyway, so
Couldn't just
Well-
call the Vatican.
could not. Vatican, let's not go into that.
Not speaking religion
No.
politics.
No.
You're going there.
So anyway, we up.
Somebody's
Is
trying.
that the Pope?
Somebody keeps getting cold feet. That's the Vatican. Hello,
Someone is
I
not
don't know.
happy.
Someone is not.
Claire. Quick, run outside. See what color the ash is.
It's a saboteur.
smoke.
You're right, it's black.
So I'll make the story quick. So basically, we convinced the
Take
brothers.
your time. You got time.
That's
Until
true.
we Go back.
That's true. That's true. All right, I'll slow it down. So we convinced the brothers. These are brothers with the collars. We convinced them that have our band play at the high school general assembly. So it's every freshman, sophomore, junior, senior on the boys' side and the girls' side. They were segregated, and all the faculties. But the gym packed with people. So we get up on stage, and our band is called Skyline. Because you can see the skyline from our viewpoint. And we get on, and the curtain opens up, and George's guitar is nothing coming out of his guitar. The drummer is just panicked. My mic's not working. They close the curtain. This guy comes down. His name is Aldo. Still friends with him. He comes down. He's futzing around with stuff. He goes back. All right, number 2, second time. Skyline thing opens. The keyboard players, things like falling over. The guitar's still not working. Curtains closed. By the time it was done, I spent the entire year in the hallways with this chant. Skyline sucks! Everybody in the school. The fact that I continued on with music, I think, is a miracle, frankly.
Yeah, but you see, it wasn't you though. There was technical difficulties.
Now we also sucked. Because once we did start playing.
No, we really sucked.
once we did start playing, we were doing Steve Miller songs. I don't know. It didn't go well. But I always like telling that story because it's the, when you have the, as all of us do, that passion.
Was that your first gig you ever did?
That was the first gig. I was like, that was terrifying. But you're a high school kid. You're so your friends and your peers, and you want to impress. And God forbid you don't want to be embarrassed. It's tough. But anyway, we recovered.
Well, that was a good. You know what?
Good.
That was a good foundation for playing clubs.
It was exactly, especially originals.
Hi.
I think we got
I'm just
somebody.
calling to say that I think Paul is one of the greatest singers, and he should be a star because he's better than any singer that I heard recently.
Oh, you know who this is? Oh, this is
that your
Laura's
mom?
This is Laura's mom. It's
Laura.
Mama Ray. This is Mama Ray.
This is Laura's grandmother.
It's Mama Ray. Mama Ray. Sounds like a pizza joint, right? Mama Ray's Pizza.
Mama Ray's Pizza. Yeah.
Hi, Mama Ray. Thank you. She's lovely. And she's always encouraging me. Thank you. Thank you
I
for
just
the call.
love you, Paul, and I think you're the greatest, and you should be a star.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well,
that.
you know what? Mama Ray? We're going to make him a star after tonight.
All right.
They're going to be banging down his door.
I hope so. Because he is good.
Well, wow. You're too kind.
He is the greatest.
And you're too biased, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I love him. Okay,
I love you.
bye.
Bye, Mama Ray.
Well, thank you for calling Rock On Radio, and thank you for listening.
Bringing new fans to the show, Danny.
So we've got everybody but Laura Ray.
I know. She likes to be mysterious.
Yeah.
We'll keep her.
She's a woman of mystery.
A woman of mystery.
Nice.
With a last name that sounds like a middle name.
So we're still not sure. Maybe she just tells you her last name is Ray.
Jeez. I got to do some research. I got to do some research.
Yeah,
it's been 8 years. I figured I know by now.
I'll tell you a story about that. We're off the air.
All right, off the air.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my first gig was also at a Catholic.
Oh, really?
High
We
school.
do share a lot in common here.
See, I didn't go there, but
You didn't go there.
the other 4 guys in my band went there.
So you escaped the Catholic school
Yes,
experience,
correct.
as we call it. Okay.
I just got the Catholic guilt. So you can. My very first drum kit was a red Sparkle. It's a nice looking kit, but it was a British Olympic.
Never heard of that. British
Me
Olympic?
either. I had
Okay.
never heard of it. My cymbals were literally green. They were a German brand called Krut. Krut.
So the
German or Swedish, one or the other.
they were made green. They were just moldy.
They
were
looked
actually-
like, but they looked moldy. And no matter how much I polished them, they just didn't get any better.
Yeah.
This drum kit was a 4-piece drum kit.
Yeah.
Or 5-piece, 2 rack toms, bass, floor tom, snare drum. None of them were in good shape, but my parents bought it for me on the advice of my then teacher. They're like, look, he's young, he's new. I wouldn't spend a lot of money. I know somebody's getting rid of one. It's playable. It's not great, but it's playable. So I think I spent like 50, but they spent like $50, which back in
Yeah.
1972 was,
That was a good sum of money.
or 73 was a lot of
That's when
money,
you were making $200 a week if you were lucky.
right? So my parents, buy this drum kit. There was one thing that it came with, though. It came with a Zildjian cymbal, a sizzle, the ones with the rivets.
Oh yeah.
The guy told me when we bought it, he said, I've had that cymbal in my family for 40 years.
Okay.
Now think about it. That was 45 years ago.
Wow. You still have this?
That cymbal is almost 90. I still use it.
wow.
Okay. It's got and it sounds great, but that cymbal is made with more copper. So it's
Okay.
brownish.
Right.
And
There's-
no matter how much you polish it, it'll
the darker-
become gold, but it's that darker metal.
Yeah.
So I take this kit. The only thing that was wrong with the drum kit, besides the fact that it wasn't that good a sound, was there was one leg missing from the floor tom.
Okay.
Now they only
Sounds dangerous.
they only have 3 legs, so they're sort of a
Yeah, it's a
tripod,
tripod.
type of thing.
Yeah.
So I used to use a 45 record case to prop up the other
Okay.
side.
Sounds
So
like a disaster.
we did a talent show at the local Catholic high school, and actually my gig went much better than yours. We got a partial standing ovation.
Oh, nice.
Right? We did Come Together by the Beatles.
Wow. Well, people stood when we played. They stood up and left. That was a whole other story.
You
But-
can take it anyway.
But the other band that performed, apparently we were all freshmen, and this other band was seniors, so they won.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
afterwards, everybody's coming up to us saying, "You guys should have won. You were better."
Right,
than them,"
right.
So I learned disappointment at the same, not at the same level, but I got it.
But it's
at
all
that
it's
point.
all relative because the first
Right.
time you face it, you got to deal with it.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know?
first gig I ever did. The first time I ever played in public, I was 12. I was just telling somebody this the other day. Somebody I work with. I did Twist and Shout by the Beatles.
Oh, nice.
My drum teacher's band was playing a picnic
Yeah.
for a club my father belonged to. He
Right.
brought me up and did Twist
That's
and
awesome.
Shout. I was petrified.
One of my favorites.
I
Too.
was 12.
How'd you do? Get through it?
Yeah. Well, sure, of course I did, because there's no video evidence to the contrary.
Did you sing Twist and Shout?
No,
Oh,
He drummed. He drummed.
I played the drum.
just checking.
He kept the beat.
Let's do another tune, because then we're going to get to the Deuce Music Minute, which is like 2 minutes away, but we got time.
You want to spin one off of this thing?
Whatever you gotta do.
All right.
Mhm.
I say spin.
Spin it off that thing.
Spin it.
Yeah, nowadays.
Yeah, what do we do one off of the album? Let's see. Well, the one that's gotten the most sort of buzz, if you will, airplay, has been "Smile Like Hollywood." It's track 3. It's a little bit of a poppy
Mhm.
kind of song,
Okay.
and it's about that girl who's got the smile that she can get away with anything.
Where'd you record this?
I recorded this in Red Bank at a place called Retro Media Studios.
Oh, yeah, Retro Media.
You know,
Oh, nice.
yeah. The guys are,
I
you know, of them.
a lot of the artists come in here use Retro.
Retro
What's
Media.
his
Adam.
Adam? What?
Vaccarelli.
Okay, that's not who I'm thinking.
Well,
of.
there was a guy. Well, no, because there was a guy who used to own it. Oh gosh, now I can't remember his name. He moved to Puerto Rico, sold it, and Adam took over. Great engineer. And there's a couple of tracks on here. The whole album was finished there. Most of the tracks recorded. There's a couple of old ones I dusted off that were recorded in the city that I kind of, were sitting around for a while. So, but this one was recorded there on the drums. There's a gentleman named Dan Sakamoto, 22-year-old kid, amazing drummer, amazing guitar player, amazing bass player. He does it all. So, kid, my son, who's 22, went to high school with, back when he was in high school, and friend. So he's on that, me on acoustic guitar, and that's it. That's the two of us, and I'm singing. So Smile Like Hollywood has one more musician on there. His name is Ray Letirio. He's on the Hammond organ. So they have what's cool about Retro Media is they try to combine that digital thing with that sort of retro sound. So they have, if you want to use, you can use tapes and stuff like that. But they have a lot of vintage equipment there.
Do they have analog? Oh yeah,
they have analog if you want to use it. I didn't, but they have ways to sort of incorporate both. But they've got phenomenal equipment there. Like I said, they have a Hammond B3 speaker, so we use that for the song. And they have a grand piano. It's great.
with or without the horn.
I believe it had the horn.
No.
Yeah. No, this thing was vintage.
The Leslie.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely Leslie. Oh yeah. No, it was great. Ray did a great job on that. He plays Ray Latier plays piano and Hammond organ there. So there's 3 of us on that. So it's Smile Like Hollywood. That's the song.
There you go. Here on Rock On Radio, Paul Marzano.
I think about her and I feel good. She's got a smile like Hollywood. And when I see her, I can't think straight. From all the chaos she creates, I know she's just one girl. It's like trying to catch a cannonball. It's like trying to drink a waterfall. I'm walking outside, get wet, but it's all good. She's got a smile like Hollywood. Hollywood, yeah. She looks at me, I can't turn away. Eyes like light shining from LA. And when I hold her, I can't let go. The stars on the boulevard start to glow. I know she's just one girl. It's like trying to catch a cannonball. It's like trying to drink a waterfall. I'm so big, wet, it's all good. It's like trying to catch your lightning bolt. Trying to jump the moon with a catapult. Fall flat on my face like I knew I would. She's got a smile like Hollywood. Hollywood, yeah. She steals the show in my heart. She radiates. I love her so much more than I can take. I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. I was trying to catch that cannonball. I'm always trying to drink that waterfall. Broken, soaking wet, but it's all good. Trying to catch your lightning. Trying to jump in the catapult. Fall flat on my face. I know you knew I would. She's got a smile. She's got a smile like Hollywood. Hollywood, yeah. Hollywood. I think about it, I feel good. I feel good.
Paul Marzano here on Rock On Radio and Smile Like Hollywood. There you go.
It's originally named Smile Like Newark, but
Newark.
it just didn't. It just couldn't. I had to rework it.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Oh gosh. So this is your one and only disc, huh?
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to call in, we'll give you a copy. 609-241-7103 and some Rock On Radio tchotchkes and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah.
But right now, we are going to do the Deuce Music Minute. Mhm. That's right. Tonight's featured Deuce Music artist is Tim Auten. And I'm not sure what happened to my computer. Why does this always happen?
Tom Auten.
Or Tom Auten.
Would you like me to read it for you?
You may have to if it doesn't come back.
He's
quickly.
based in
It's in the
Cardiff,
twilight
Wales.
zone.
Oh, never mind. I got it. There you go. It finally came back. But if you want to continue, go right ahead.
He is based in Cardiff, Wales. Having sold out his first headline gig in his hometown of Cardiff, Tom Auten is gaining a reputation for being an act to look for on the UK music scene and beyond. Influenced by the likes of Royal Blood and John Mayer, Tom Auten first made his mark breaking into the top 8 in Fender's Undiscovered Artist of the Year award, where he showcased himself to be an audience
To
He
be an
showcased
audience.
himself to an audience of over 5 million people. In addition to this, he also achieved first place at both Open Mic UK and Future Music Songwriting Competition, not to mention radio play on a number of popular radio stations. His highly anticipated new single, Blues Train, is now available through all major downloads and streaming sites, and you can find out further information by visiting his website, Tom Auton, AUTON.com, or you can follow him on social media, on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep. Twitter is Tom Alton, and Facebook is Tom Alton Music. It's like auto with an N.
I like that.
Yes, we're very animal friendly here.
Tweety bird.
Whales, birds,
Well, birds.
Yeah.
Yes.
rescue a reptile.
It distracted a lot of teachers.
By the way, would you like some bearded dragon food? I've got some here.
Oh, bearded dragon.
Oh yeah, would you like it? I got some there too. We have mealworms. I got some bearded dragon, some dried stuff. In case you want to take it with you.
Blueberries.
No, I'm going to say no.
Smart.
It's January. I'm not fishing.
Right? Actually, I fed that thing blueberries, and
Candy.
before it hit the bottom of the cage, the tongue went out, just like that.
See?
Correct.
He's watched some bearded dragons.
There you go. All right, this is Tom Auton and his song Blues Train here on the Deuce Music Minute on Rock On Radio.
one-way ticket and no way back. I've gotta leave it all behind. I'll close the windows of the clouds. Get on the blues train, A can in your hand won't get your head about the sand, brother. Do as I say. Appetite, people, leave a shadow on your seat. Stop lying in the bed that you made. Oh, I'm a changed man, and I've changed for the better. Got a one-way ticket and no way back. I've gotta leave it all behind. I'll close the windows of the clouds. Get on the blues train, Get on the blues train, A tap on your tongue, take the bullets from your lungs. It will only make it harder to breathe. So follow a song to the place that you belong. Leave your worries on the melody. Oh, I'm a showman, and I'll show you that he's better. Got a one-way ticket and no way back. Gotta leave it all behind. We'll close the windows of the clouds. Get on the blues train, honey. Get on the blues train, I've got a one-way ticket, no way back. Got a one-way ticket, no way back. I got a one-way ticket, no way back.
There you go, Tom Alton. I almost came back. You're talking about hockey. I almost came back and said Tim Horton. I have a
Where you want
donut.
donut?
Coffee, yeah. That's some good stuff. I like it. That's Canadian. Isn't it? I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, it is.
Tim
But although
Hortons
I've had
Donuts,
it
yeah.
in Buffalo, and I mean, it's summoned.
You can't find it a lot, but there's one Port Authority.
Yeah, and Penn Station.
Penn
too.
Station. Not-
Yep.
No, you're right. Penn Station, not Port Authority. Maybe there is
Right.
one in Port Authority, but
Right,
definitely Penn
right
Station.
there, right before you go up to 7th Avenue. It's on the right hand
Yep.
side.
At first, I saw my friends were in Buffalo. We were like, "Wow, Tim Hortons. This is cool."
It's good coffee.
Yeah, yeah,
I enjoy it.
and donuts.
Donuts.
So you would know this, Mr. Marzano, because you are a world traveler.
I've not traveled the whole world.
But your music has.
It's gotten a couple of places.
Nice. Where did it go?
It got to.
Do elaborate.
Oh, let's elaborate. It got to a station.
This is the elaborate part of the program.
The elaboration.
Elaborations. That's right.
It's a good name for. It's a good name for a band. Paul Marzano and the Elaborations.
We've done it again.
You've done it again. Anybody
Write it
wants to-
down. I'll write it. It'll be in the event.
Sign up. Sign up. So there was a station in Southern England called Forest FM that picked up the song, put it on their playlist. It was kind of exciting. It was exciting, and that was back over probably I'm going to say
Were you-
August, September.
Were you shopping it, or did they just find it?
No. I found different outlets that were accepting music, on the web, and you just send it in, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll play it," and then they did, and then they put it, went on their website, and it was like on the list. It was fun. The producer of the show liked it, so I was like, "Oh, cool!" So that's always fun. And then there's a show in Germany called Mark After Dark. He's a guy from he's from New Jersey, but his show got picked up in Germany, and he played one of my songs from the album. It's called Breakfast in the UK, and it's a little bit of a saucy song, because he was doing a show about rupees and songs to do with sax. Shh, Mama Ray, stop listening to shit.
She loves you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And so he put that song on his playlist. So that was fun. So those are my, and I've had a few lucky happenings where I have a friend up in Vermont, WVTK FM, which is a commercial station that spun a couple of songs, did a little hello interview thing, and at Reno, Nevada. So I had a few little things, man. It's fun. It's vindicating. It's always a thrill, right? None of us do music to keep it in a dark closet. You want to get it out there if you can. So it was fun stuff. And here I am on Rock On Radio.
That's
Woo-hoo.
Heightstown.
International. We are international, though.
Well, it's World Wide Web.
That's
right. One of the things that we struggle with on this program is that whole thing right there. I'm pretty sure you weren't up. Where was your friend in
WVTK?
Yeah. Vermont. You said?
Vermont,
Okay.
Addison County.
Were you in Vermont listening on your radio, in your car, or were you at home listening on your computer?
Yeah, computer.
Yeah. In the borough.
Computer. Well, yeah. Obviously, I couldn't. I
Right.
couldn't pick them up.
Right.
What kind of signal they have?
Bingo, people watching at home. No, true, because and here is where you've got two schools of thought. Okay.
Yep.
You have the old school dinosaur theory, which many even young musicians, like teenage 20-somethings, fall into this trap. They look at shows like this as not real radio. Although today you can get internet radio in your car.
Yeah, of course you can. iHeartRadio.
There are entire cities now that are wireless.
Yeah.
There's one in, what's the big city in Sweden? Oslo, maybe? Name a big city in Sweden. For 200, Alex.
Swedesboro? No, that's in New Jersey.
Swedesboro. No. But there's one in Sweden. One of the big cities in Sweden or Switzerland. One of them has
Exit one.
Please don't confuse the two. But they're far apart.
They are entirely wireless. Dublin, Ireland is entirely wireless. Really? Anywhere you go is Wi-Fi. Yep. It's hooked up anywhere. And as more and more cities become that way, You're not even going to
Stockholm.
need. I mean, look, Stockholm. Okay, I knew it began with an S.
Was it Swedesboro?
No, it wasn't Swedesboro. Damn it.
I had a group
They didn't
though.
teach geography in Catholic school, apparently.
Obviously, not in
Not
Sweden
very well.
anyway.
Not well.
Maybe New Jersey they did.
That's why they ran out of money.
Or sound
They didn't know where to ask.
See, with all the rulers smacking, they were really good at math.
So, I mean, essentially, people don't listen to the radio unless they're in their car. And even then, now, the people listen to podcasts.
Yep.
People listen
That's what I
to.
listen to.
There you go. And you kind of run into a thing where they feel today's artists, at least I'm finding, especially over the last maybe 4 or 5 years, that people, which is why I'm on internet radio, because I started on terrestrial radio and I realized nobody's listening to me on the radio. They're listening to me on their computers. They're like, let me get ahead of the curve.
Yep.
Little did I know would begin the struggle for legitimacy.
Yep.
You know, this program's been called not legitimate. It's been called Unreal. It's not real radio, Danny. I had a guy at the Hayride last month. Remember? Well, what dial? What show? What channel is your show on? It's on the internet. It's on. Well, that's not real radio.
Well, if you looked around the crowd there,
They're still reading
the median
newspapers.
age is 93.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It is.
He's
The
not kidding.
walkers
It
and
is.
the walkers and the rollers.
However, so you have that old mindset.
Yeah.
People, Paul Marzano couldn't hear his music being played in Vermont 20 years ago.
Nope.
It was. Now you can.
Yep.
So the internet has opened up huge markets
100%.
for everybody and anything. Really, I mean, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know.
No, but it's worth underscoring because people forget that. It's like the artists that you, I'm sure, interview who are like me, self-released CDs, albums, what do you want to call them? Right? 20 years ago, you had to beg a record label,
Yep.
right? Or try to get discovered. Now, that's the beauty of it. It's an even playing field. And if it's nothing else than just getting your dream done because you've got your stuff released, or it takes you to heights, I don't know, but.
And the thrill never grows old, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. When you can. I was telling your friend Walt. I was telling Walt that when. No, I totally forgot what I was going to say. What were we talking about?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Swedesboro.
Radio, listening to your first
Danny
when you
had a
played,
senior movie.
when you were playing your music.
Right. When you first, when I was, a kid, you would turn around and you'd make a cassette, and like you said, you would stick it in an envelope, right? Send it. You didn't even know who you were sending it to. You just said, sending it to somebody. And there's some kid in the mailroom going, "What the hell is this?" Garbage. Throws it in the garbage. But it's just so different today. But the thrill of hearing your music on the radio never gets old, and that's what I remember telling Walter.
That's right.
I went to my PO box, and just yesterday, and I opened it up, and there's 4 CDs in there, plus a yellow slip telling me I had to go pick to the front desk and have somebody go in the back and get something, because there was my friend John Lappin out in Las Vegas sent me 5 CDs of the artists that he reps,
Nice.
and they all want airplay on the Blue Show. And I got Rick Barth sent me a CD for Terry. Finally, I got it yesterday that I got to ship out to her. So there's no shortage of people wanting you to play their music on the radio. I've literally got 4 big Rubbermaid totes of CDs that have been sent to me over the last 10 years. And
can't get through them all.
You can't. No, you can't. And some of them are really good, and some of them are okay.
Yep.
I mean, I applaud anybody who makes the effort.
Oh, agreed.
So, but if you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio, 609-241-7103. Let's do another tune.
Oh, all right. Let's see. All right. We played one. Now I'll strum one. All right. Let me think of one. Let's see. Going through.
You got quite an extensive notebook going there.
You know, I'm just trying to figure this out. Which one? You know, I'm gonna try this one. Yeah, this is one. This is really kind of new, so I'm gonna give myself a break if I screw it up. But I'm gonna try not to. This one is called "Not Your Favorite Song."
Whoa.
There's that chord. I'm making this. Oh, I think we got. This is my headphones or something weird. Can't hear me. No, my guitar stopped.
Is your guitar?
There it is.
There you go.
It's back. Definitely not my favorite song now. All right, let's try it again.
It's the Unfinished Symphony.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm making this up as I go along. Life is not like your favorite song, where all of the pieces are where they belong. Where they belong. Oh, there's only just so much advice I could take. There's always one more thought to keep me awake. With the pull of the moon, the waves are gonna break. I don't wanna break. I'm high. I'm hiding. I'm high. Hiding from everything and everyone. A billion light years from the sun. Making this up, and I could be wrong, but life is just like your favorite song. It's easier when you decide to just sing along. But not today, I can't sing along. I'm hiding. I'm hiding. I'm hiding from everything and everyone. A billion light years from the sun. I don't wanna hide, don't wanna smile and fake it, so I'm hiding. Hiding. I'm hiding. Hiding. Hiding from everything and everyone. A billion light years from the sun. From the sun. A billion light years from the sun.
Paul Marzano.
Woo! Love
Here on Rock On Radio.
Nice.
Still working on
I
that
like that
one.
one. That's good though. I like it.
Trying to get the falsetto down.
Mm.
Thank you for indulging me. It's the first time I played that out. So there's a debut
nice.
for you.
Oh, another world
Oh.
There's a
premiere.
world premiere for you.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just, it's interesting when you know, after putting these 12 down, it's like, what are the next 10, 12
Mhm.
songs? And it takes time to
Mhm.
kind of feel them out.
Well, I was just actually going to comment on that. It's a full-length CD, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Dozen.
I get so many bands come through here. Oh, we're going to release an EP in June, August, and the end of September.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Well,
Why not just put them all together?
but here's the thing, but the advice out there now,
Is to saturate the market.
it is. It's
Yeah.
like release the. In fact, there's the guy who's on the album, the drummer. His name is Dan Sakamoto. His band name is Have a Good Season, and they're just releasing single after single until they get 8, 10 songs, and then I'll put it on an album. to your point.
Well, that's
the
the
saturation factor.
A lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Now my thing is,
Yes.
why waste the time and putting them together on an album then? Because if you're releasing them and everybody's downloading them, well, who's going to go out and buy the album?
Good point.
You're not going to do
And
it for the artwork because there is no artwork.
Right. It's as tiny as a postage stamp. Right.
Correct. Yeah, it's not like the old days.
The reality is, that's how music is consumed now, little bits and pieces. I mean, this is old school, right? Put an album out, although we do it.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I wanted to put vinyl out, but it was too expensive. I mean, this thing was like, all in, in terms of production was $700 to get it all 300 CDs done. To do 100 vinyl was going to be like almost 2,800. I mean,
Right.
what a
Wow.
difference,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but
Now-
I'll tell you, the biggest. My daughter just bought a Victrola.
Oh, yeah.
What they called Victrolas now.
Victrola,
Victrolas,
yes.
but they're
I'll
brand
show her a
new, and they
Victrola.
have. I know. I showed her the pictures, but it has Bluetooth and speakers and USB ports and.
Yep.
But my mom's old collection, my old collection. She's there playing it, and
yeah.
she's going to town with all my old
yeah.
records, and it's great, So.
Well, this band, Have a Good Season, they have a vinyl album. These are
Mhm.
22-year-old kids. In fact, you probably heard it or read it somewhere, because I heard that this is the first year where vinyl outsold CDs.
Yes, it
right?
did. We posted that.
You posted
yeah,
that.
One of those,
Maybe
yeah,
that's where I heard it.
yeah.
I don't know, but I know I saw
Around.
that.
Mhm.
So kind of everything old is new again.
No,
Right?
and it always is.
Yeah.
I remember the kitchen table that my grandparents had is now like, millennials are going crazy for
Yeah,
this crap.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah, it's just,
Retro is in.
yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to listen to anything, if I had my choice, I would definitely listen to an album vinyl versus a CD. I would,
Yeah.
but
Why?
just because it's like so warm, the sound of it itself.
It's funny you say that because the other day I was just sitting there and I'm listening to a
An album,
33-inch
33 and a
album,
third, right?
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
And I put it on the turntable because I was gathering some stuff for my blue show, and I put it on the turntable and I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking, why do they say that listening to vinyl is warm? I don't get any warmth out of it. I never understood.
No,
that.
you
What-
don't hear the subtlety.
No, because you know what? Case in point,
Okay.
Aerosmith.
Yep.
Toys in the Attic.
Yep.
I had that album.
Mhm.
And Back in the Saddle. I
Yep.
believe it's the first track on that album, right? Back in the Saddle. I'm pretty sure.
It might be, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
it's been a while.
Back in the Saddle, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, wherever it is on that album.
Yeah.
Right. Back in the Saddle. I listened to that for years. Okay. I get the CD, Toys in the Attic, and I put it in. And all of a sudden, I never heard those spurs in that album. I
True.
never heard that whip crack in that album.
Right. Now, from an audio experience, yeah, you're going to hear more. I guess what I was really saying was between a CD and vinyl. On the other side of it, though, this is where I listen to music here on my
your
phone
yeah.
and in my car. I mean, that's kind of the go-to. But when I say warm, there's that nostalgic warmth, and that sort of like, that just taking that piece of artwork, pulling it out of the sleeve, and which is the artwork. I'm sorry.
We often talk about it here. I've been, again, as he said yesterday, I've had lead poisoning since I was 12.
What?
I've been a Led Zeppelin
Oh.
fan since,
Fell for
since
that
I
one,
was
hook, line, and sinker.
since I was 12.
Lead poisoning. Got it.
And I remember buying Led Zeppelin 1 when I was like 14. I remember buying Led Zeppelin 1 with
Wasn't
my
it
money.
thrilling
It was
buying an album?
right. It was $8 and change. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to get Led Zeppelin 1 for my son, who asked me for a turntable. He's going to be 28 at the end of this year.
I'm afraid to ask you what the price was.
$24.99.
Yeah.
That used to be the
Insane.
price of a double live album.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was even expensive.
Right.
Kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. Only Frampton Comes Alive.
Right?
Albums like that,
Double live Gonzo.
Yeah. Right.
And like Led Zeppelin 3 had the wheel on the cover
Yep,
that
yep.
you could spin, and
Yep.
then Physical Graffiti, you could pull out
Pull
the
up
apartment
yep,
windows.
the windows. Yep.
But one of the things when I pulled out all of those albums that I forgot about and albums that old was that the vinyl kept cutting through the sleeve.
Oh, right.
You'd have to keep
right.
taping and you'd
Yep.
have to all these things. And I'm like, whoa, it just
Yep.
was like it would slide out. And
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
they
wow, it's
always-
really old.
yeah.
They're dry now. But
Especially if they got wet
Yeah.
somehow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but it was just like, woo, I forgot about that whole idea. Like you had to be careful. You didn't slide it and slit the whole.
The
Exactly.
cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were flimsier,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's actually the problem I'm having with the Fiedler files.
Mhm.
The sleeves, because there was no cardboard, they were all paper.
Right.
With these 78 RPMs.
Yeah, both
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they just go
Right,
right
rip.
through the,
Yeah, I know.
especially now that they're
Well,
100
that's-
years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's kind of like mine too. My parents, they were my moms and dads, so that like all of the paper is just like
Yeah.
very
Brittle.
fragile. Yeah.
yeah, it's brittle.
You know, I think the younger generation did, you know, they missed that experience of that anticipation, right?
Oh, yeah. When the new
God.
album's coming
New
out.
album's coming. I mean,
They used
yeah, Eminem just dropped I think it was, I don't know how many songs it was, but 15 songs. No announcement. Literally, it just appeared like that day. Like, and people were like, Eminem has an album out?
Mm.
And that's what
There's
it
no
is
hype.
now. It's
Yeah.
right. Or remember, Beyonce did it, you know,
There's no hype.
there's no, it's just like, boom, here it is,
Mhm.
you know, and the
I wonder
just-
why.
it just, that's,
Well,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Some
do
things
you
have hype,
remember
some
though
don't.
when they put out albums back in the 70s and 80s
Yeah.
and things like that? There was always that their new album is set to come out at the end of the summer.
yeah.
And so like, you know,
Right.
July
Like a
came,
movie,
August
yeah.
came, you're like,
Right.
when's the end of the summer? September, August, what?
Right,
When's
and
this
then
band coming
And
out?
then there was a date. It was
Mhm.
like, it was like you had it on your calendar.
And then there'd be
Mhm.
lines. And New York City used to have this record store chain called Disco Mat.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember
I was thinking of
Tower Records.
Tower
Yeah.
Records.
Tower Records
yeah.
and the Disco Mat
Mhm.
and Sam Goody.
Right,
And they
Sam
had
Goody,
all
yeah,
these
that's right.
record stores.
Mhm.
Yep.
And there'd be lines
Oh,
like
yeah.
there are for the iPhone.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. Crazy Eddie.
Because
Crazy
Crazy
Eddie.
Eddie's
Oh,
in Paramus.
That's a North
New,
Jersey
New
thing.
Brunswick.
Who did you listen to as a young man?
Well, going back now again, they were before my time, but Beatles were my first major influence when I was 10. This is an interesting story. My next door neighbor, Louis Filardo, they had moved in from New York. I forget where in New York. It might have been the Bronx or something, but he was a limo driver. And he had two sons and a daughter. And his older son, Louis Jr., invited me over, and he puts on the Red album. This was the greatest hits, I think, the Red out 62 to 66. And, you know, I was like, wow. And I just kind of blown away. But the other part of it, he was such an enthusiast because he had a picture of the Beatles and he had their 4 signatures. And how he got that was his father drove the Beatles. Legitimately, the limo driver,
Wow.
when they landed here the first time
Mm.
from Kennedy, what was it called? Whatever it was, Kennedy Airport.
Yeah.
So, you know, so that was my first, you know, and of course it was a Beatle lure there. It was like a sanctuary, and I was just got sucked into that. But everything else, I mean, you know, Stones, I mean, Zeppelin, they loved Black Sabbath, you know, all that stuff. You know, and then as time kind of went on, well, yeah, I just loved the Eagles, you know, and that was all that stuff. In fact, Linda Ronstadt, who was
Mm.
the Eagles backed her, right? When you're talking about getting tapes unsolicited or solicited for, I always wanted to be a songwriter. I always saw, you know, we talk about like the great voices, and as a writer, not every writer has the great voice, you know, and I'll include myself in that modestly. That of course, you know, I would love to sing like, you know, the most amazing person, but you're right, and you're thinking, who could sing this great? And I was 12 years old, and I had written some songs for Linda Ronstadt. Of course, every 12-year-old kid had a crush on her, right? I'm like, all right, well, everyone, maybe not everyone, but I did. Danny gave me the look of no. In any case,
No, that was the look of yeah.
oh yeah, it was the yeah look. I don't know.
She was hot.
She was so I wrote these lyrics. I wrote like half a dozen songs. I looked on the back of the album. I sent them in an envelope
Oh.
with, to Linda. She would. Of course, I never received anything back. but
Never liked her.
never liked her. Never liked Lily.
Never heard it on the radio.
Never heard it. He's,
Yeah, she did.
Unless they stole it from me.
yeah.
That was
The lyrics
mine.
were "You're no good, you're no good." No. I don't know. Who knows what happened? To
On Blue Bayou.
Yeah. Exactly. She blew by me.
Silver was there.
Gosh, U2 going into the 80s, really into them.
Really? Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
too?
Yeah. I mean, early stuff. Like the first couple of records that came out, boy, Unforgettable Fire, but before Joshua Tree, which of course I loved as well.
See, now I'm not a big U2 fan.
A lot of people aren't.
I do like
A lot of people are.
I do like Rattle and Hum though.
Oh,
because,
Rattle and Hum, great.
You know, it's more rock and roll.
Yeah.
Than Irish protest songs.
Yes.
So to
Yes.
speak.
Yes.
No, I don't dislike them, but they wouldn't be one of the ones I took to a desert island.
It's funny. It's funny. They're that type of band though. There's certain bands kind of universal, like even Zeppelin. I mean, who doesn't really like Zeppelin? Most people do. But
me.
you too. Okay. But
This is Claire's last show, by the way.
Yeah, it's all right. You'll miss me.
Well, we will miss you.
We will miss you. You're the new producer. Welcome.
The job's yours.
Wow.
Here you go. Start doing.
I don't know how to work one of those newfangled
Well, then
computers.
you're gonna better learn quick.
She'll leave it.
I will.
God, the Police. Oh, we can go on and on, right? There's so much great music out there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. So what do you listen to now?
So,
Same stuff?
yeah, same stuff. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the most recent stuff I've been listening to. You mentioned Grace Potter.
Mhm.
I downloaded that recently. There's a couple of new bands that I've been listening to a lot just on Spotify, just putting like lists together of just like 80s, 90s, just general stuff. I mean, Nirvana was huge. That was, love that 90s stuff. So,
Did you?
yes,
You like that grunge sound?
I did.
Does
Yeah.
any of that work its way into your writing?
It's funny. The first tune on the album, which is Nothing Wrong, when I played it for my son on acoustic guitar, he was like, "That sounds like Nirvana." Now, when I produced it, I don't think it does at all, but there is a little of that in there.
You want to play it?
You know what?
You want to do it off the disc or you want to do it live?
Let's do it off the disc.
That would be the first track.
That'll be the first track.
Nothing wrong.
Yes.
If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio.
Nothing wrong with the.
If you want to give us a call, 609-241-7103. I will give you a copy of this song here called Mood Swing Serenade. Why'd you call it that?
Because I sometimes have mood swings.
Really?
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And some of the songs, I feel a mood swing coming on right now. Actually, no, I'm kidding. And so
Every 28 days.
it was-
Oh, you too?
Ouch!
Ouch.
Wow.
You wish it was that long for yourself. Your mood swings.
So I thought,
I've had 6 since we sat down.
Exactly.
I'm swinging my mood right now.
hey now. If you look at the album cover there, that's the Keensburg Amusement Park. Hop the Fence.
Ooh.
It's literally.
I was going to
Is
ask
that a
you that.
selfie? I mean, who
Or
is
was it
someone
a
else?
Photoshop?
That's not photoshopped. A friend of mine from high school, still friends with Gary Pizzoli, he's a photographer, and we went to Keensburg, and it was closed because it was like, I don't know, cold months,
Mhm.
and I jumped the fence, and he's like, I nearly there's a picture of me almost falling, which is great. I have all the outtakes, and I jumped on there, and we snapped it, and then this is the back cover is like an abandoned amusement, like a haunted house or something. So yeah, we had a fun day. We had a fun day in Keensburg.
Google haunted houses.
Exactly.
All right. Well, this is Paul Marzano off of Mood Swing Serenade and his song called
Nothing Wrong.
There's nothing wrong with the world today. There's nothing wrong for a year, for centuries. Every war will end, another takes its place. It's in our DNA. There's nothing wrong with my head, they say. That can't be cured with a pill and some therapy. So I can fit real snug to society. Not question anything. Doesn't matter what my name is. Doesn't matter what my flag is. Doesn't matter what I worship. We're all children born under the same sun. It only matters how we live. There is nothing wrong with this song per se. Except the words and the beat and the melody. Got faith, not accomplish anything. But I'll sing it anyway. It doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't matter what your flag is. It doesn't matter what you worship. We're all children born under the same sun. Only matters how we love under the same sun. Spinning wheels what your name is. Doesn't matter what your flag is. Doesn't matter what you worship. Or if you worship nothing at all. We're all born under the same sun. We're all born under the same sun. We're all born under the same
Paul Marzano. Nothing wrong here on Rock On Radio. You've got about 17 minutes if you want to give us a call. You can do so at 609-241-7103. Anybody listening to this on a rebroadcast or a podcast, you can email me if you have any kind of questions or requests. I'm not sure I can honor them, but if you want to talk to me, you can do so by going to our website, dcror.com, and you can send me an email because we have an email link there, right, Producer Claire?
We do. You can just sign up and you will be entered in all the things that we do.
Do we?
Do we?
What do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? What do you do? I don't know. Marty, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
I'd also like to thank you for the complimentary Andy's Candies.
That's from Chocolate Eclair.
That's me.
Chocolate
That was my original contribution. Yes.
Chocolate Eclair. That's a cool.
Yeah.
Could be like a website.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chocolate Claire on the air.
This is yeah.
Moniker.
I'm gonna stop these.
All right. Stop the insanity.
Stop the Andes.
No, they're good for you. They're
Stop
good.
the
Oh, yeah.
Andes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, oh, yeah.
God, it's like tofu.
Maybe we'll do that as a team bonding thing.
Yes.
You and Art.
What?
We'll hike the Andes.
You'll hike the. I'd be dragging the two of you. You got to be kidding
You're not
me.
dragging
Him
me anywhere.
with his heart and you with your leg and your back, whatever goes. I mean,
If we're doing that, Danny's carrying.
Whoa.
and I'm going to wind up carrying both of you.
Backpack.
Man, I don't walk to the mailbox. You think
You know what that would look like? All of a sudden, I got this picture from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, where the sleigh's all piled and this little tiny dog is dragging it up the hill.
That would be me.
They'd be dragging us on sleds.
I would not be. You'd be falling. You know when it teeters over the edge of the mountain?
You'd push.
Bye.
Bumbles bounce. Oh wait, wrong cartoon.
You're mixing your metaphors.
Yeah,
It's your Christmas.
I mix drinks, not metaphors.
You do. This is true.
This is true. True Value Hardware.
All right. So how many of these CDs do we give away tonight?
Mama,
None?
Mama,
None?
Mama Ray.
I'm assuming that your family has.
They have them.
Mo and Mama Ray.
We've got a box of
Coasters.
quite a few.
So-
Box of coasters.
So how did you stumble upon Cafe Artiste and our lovely friend Janet, who we love?
That's a great question. Same way I stumbled on that, radio station in England. Just webbing away because I was out of work for a few months, and I was like, I have some
That's how I
time.
started this radio show.
Exactly. Well, I read your bio. I did my research.
That's why I
You're-
joined too.
You're the comeback
unemployed.
kid. Danny's the comeback kid. I know that. And no. So you know what? Actually, may I mention some of the musicians on that last song we just played? 'Cause
Sure,
you
you can mention whatever you want.
All right. On guitar is Rob Bizzazaro, who's a good guy. He's been playing with him for about 10 years. And who else is on there? Yeah, and the same other crew that I mentioned. But he's the only musician, the same guy, the drummer / bass player, Dan Sakamoto, and then Rob on guitar there. But Rob said, hey, you should try to get your music on 95. What is it called? The Night?
90.5 the
90.
night.
Yeah, 90.5 the Night.
Brookdale Public Radio.
Yeah. So I was kind of looking, and then somehow with that search came up Cafe Artiste. I don't know how if they're connected. I just remember
really.
doing that search.
Janet betraying us.
And then,
No, would you stop? Oh, good Lord.
well, perhaps she is. But
Conspiracy theorists.
I have a song about that. Oh, you got that one.
Bring it full circle.
So yeah. So I said it was online, and then I was like, well, this seems really cool. The funny thing is, when you start to, I don't know, explore, put yourself out there, it's amazing how many venues and outlets there are for original music. Surprisingly and happily. Did you mention the guy
And
named
locally too.
locally Rick Barth? Did you mention him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did a couple of shows with him.
Oh, did
He,
you?
yeah.
His songwriter showcase?
I did. In fact, I met Rick at the Songwriter Showcase.
that's
We happened
right.
to perform on the same night,
Mhm.
and then him and I met at the pizza place across the street, and we started talking. And then he said, "Yeah, I want you to do a show," and I did. Just did one, and I think I'm booked for another one in April. He's a good dude.
Mhm.
He's a good dude,
Yeah.
man. He's
Rick.
he's an
yeah.
advocate. He's an
Yeah.
advocate.
He's been on
for-
our show a
for what
couple
we do.
times, Stephen does in the last year or so.
His
Yeah.
first CD, Hand Me Down Soul.
Yeah.
In not that this isn't a pun, but hands down should have
Mhm.
if they had an award for indie album of the
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
that wasn't fixed like the Grammys,
Which we found out about.
Mhm.
it would it should have won. That first album was and he doesn't think it was his best work because he just said he wanted to get these songs down because they've been inside so long
Yep.
they had to come out.
Yep.
But that's the beauty of that album. It sounds like he's sitting in his living room just jamming away
Yep.
and putting his soul out there.
Yep.
And the tunes are fantastic.
I heard that song, the
Hand Me
title
Down-
song. I
Hand Me
heard
Down
that
Soul,
song. I
yeah.
heard that. I had it on my iPod, and then I heard him play it live. And then I also, thank you for telling me that, because I downloaded Fade,
That's his new one.
the new one, which I love, and I downloaded that and I listened to it a bunch of times. I have it on my. But I thanks for tipping me off because he doesn't really talk about that album. He's promoting Fade, so that's the one I said, "Wow, let me check it out." But I'll check out that.
The first album,
Yeah, I'll check it
it's
out.
very the way I like to describe it is raw.
Yeah.
It's not super polished.
Yep.
It's well done, but it's
There's a rawness to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like an
there's a-
authenticity.
there-
almost.
thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's very real.
Yeah.
And it's just I couldn't that thing must have stayed in my CD player in my old truck for months.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop listening to it.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's fantastic stuff. It really is. 609-241-7103. Want to do another tune as we head towards the end of the program? You want to go live? Want to go off the CD? What do you want to do?
Let's see. Let me try another one off the CD. Let's see. I don't know if I could. There's a song that this isn't a religious song, but it's the last track on the album. It's called "In Memory of," and it was the opening line of the song is "There is no God," which is provocative, but that's not the meaning of the song because it's the first thing that came out of my mouth when all these shootings, and there was that church shooting down south, and it was like you're reading all this, and it's like these people are worshiping, and they're killed in church. Not to be a downer, but that's I was like, God, there is no God. Just like that mumbling, like under my breath, like, how can this be? And then not long after that, there was a mosque. There were hundreds of people killed. And then there were 12 people killed in the synagogue. And so the song is really about, and I like to explain it because on face value, it sounds like, oh, is this some kind of atheist song? No, it's not. But it's more about the pain people go through, but also believing in prayer, even when sometimes it's hard to do that. So it's called In Memory Of. So let's give that a spin if it meets the broadcast standards of the show.
I have standards.
Very low ones, but still.
This is why I'm here. No
Where-
standards. Sign me up.
Claire went from our chocolate provider to our religious advisor.
Mhm.
Are you a religious advisor?
On a show that doesn't talk about religion. It's
Ooh.
a very small role.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm there to verify things that
Okay.
are necessarily.
That may
but
come up.
I think
I'd be
that-
interested in your opinion of this
I
song.
would.
Then.
I'd love to hear it.
See, I knew that title would fit you sooner
That's
or
right.
later.
And we don't discuss religion.
Right.
We can mention it.
Okay.
It's not that it's taboo.
Yes,
It's-
I don't debate.
We don't debate.
No, there's no debating.
That's all it is.
Correct.
Right.
Although there are pictures of Pope Francis with a Rock on Radio bumper sticker.
That's
circulating,
cool.
So
I want to see that.
I'll show you. You ready, Art? All right. This is
In memory of.
what's your name? Paul Marzano. Paul
Paulie.
Marzano.
Paulie from the block.
Oh, from the borough. From the borough.
There is no God as far as I can see, but I have faith. Those who still believe, I hope their prayers will somehow make it through. For those of us who don't know what to do, who don't know what to do. There is no God, as far as I can tell. Each tragedy makes me sure as hell I will have faith. Those who still believe, to you I say, you best stay on your knees. We're all on our knees. Life is so fragile. Another candle burning in memory, burning in memory. Life is so fragile. Another vigil, another candle burning in memory. Oh, a light that was. No words can heal the loss. We can't bring back the love. Can we bring back the love? There is no God, but that is just a guess. You have such faith, and I will acquiesce and hope your prayers somehow make it through. For fools like me, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do, and life is so fragile. Another candle. Life is so fragile. Another candle. Another vigil. So many candles. Burning in memory. Burning in memory. A light that was in memory of light that was.
There you go. In memory of by Paul Marzano here on Rock on Radio. So how can we find you once again?
Find me. Let's see. Well, there's the website,
About
paulmarzano.com. Marzano.
20 minutes, they can find you in the parking lot.
Oh, they can do that. They can do that. Yes. They can find me in the parking lot, which is, what's the address here? And, also music wise, just on Spotify and, what is it called? iTunes? No, they call it iTunes Apple Music now, right? They got rid of iTunes. So Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer. That's one of those sites out there. And yeah, those places. So pretty much it.
Okay. And your website, once again,
Is
is
paulmarzano.com. Tried to keep it simple.
perfect.
And we found you.
We found me.
Mhm.
Nice.
What do you have coming up for gigs? Anything?
Nothing, not a whole lot right now. I've got something in April, actually with Rick Barth, one of his shows, and I'm looking to get some more shows going. So we'll keep you guys posted. Let
I
you
like
know.
it.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is good.
Now what? This is we're 5 minutes away. I thought you were going to time this perfectly. That should have been that should have been it right there. Now we have 5 more minutes. What are we going to do?
Oh, don't worry, Danny.
You've never actually listened to this show, have you?
I have actually. I have
Yes,
twice.
I have, yes.
Twice.
Yes.
We actually have some things coming up as well.
Oh,
We do.
do tell us.
We do, as we said.
Don't hurt yourself.
Hold his back.
Yeah, right. Or his face.
Keep.
Get off of my cloud.
Actually, not tomorrow night, but next week I've got a on the
Tribute.
on the Danny Coleman's Got the Blues show. I'm going to do 3 songs in a row that the Rolling Stones have done, but they will be done by the blues artists who did them
Oh, cool.
They got him from.
before them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Good.
Wait, the original?
like you might want to tune into that. We've got some
Yeah.
Taj Mahal and some Luther Allison.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Junior Wells.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll let you guys
The
think
people
about
don't
this
know that.
one.
like that.
Mhm. 3 in a row.
Nice.
Must be in the front row.
I'm in.
We've got the Rock on Radio Happy Hour with our good friend Rick Winnow. Takes place February 6th. That's the Nottingham Tavern, which is located at 9 Mercer Street in Hamilton Square.
Mhm.
That's the February Happy Hour.
Mhm.
And I'll be giving things away at that. Some Rock on Radio merch,
Nice.
either Wawa or Dunkin' Donuts gift cards.
I like Wawa.
You like Wawa? Yeah, that seems to be the better choice.
Yep.
Because you can buy more than just like
Yes.
I just like the coffee better, personally.
there.
I
But
do
there you
too.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But I don't pass a Wawa on the way in. That's not ridiculously crowded like the one on Route 130. But we've got that coming up. What else do we have coming up, Claire? That's about it, right?
For now, our next show.
Oh yeah, next week. Who do we have next week?
Super Bowl Sunday. We have
Laura Cheadle.
Laura Cheadle.
That's right.
Mhm.
Super Bowl Sunday scheduled to appear is Laura Cheadle.
Mhm.
So, if you this is an oddball question, it just popped in my head.
We are talking to an oddball. Hit me.
Things like this happen; they just pop into my head. If you could hang out with one musician for an hour,
Mhm.
who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's a failed Bon Jovi reference.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's not Bon Jovi, nor is it Richie Sambora.
Thankfully.
Nothing against them, but you're giving me the choice of any musician,
Mhm.
all the way back into Tchaikovsky, Ludwig van Beethoven. Or are you talking contemporary? I
I went to
Ah,
school. with
Bach.
them.
did you?
He did.
I gotta go with John Lennon. I just have to. I have to go with Lennon. Although, yeah, I would have to go with him. Yeah, maybe because he was taken so soon.
Mm.
I don't know what he'd be like, but who knows?
Bet you'd find out.
I'd find out.
Did you see the movie yesterday?
I did. It was great.
So you know what I'm talking about,
Do you know
right?
what you're talking about? He looked, but that was a cool scene, wasn't it?
Yep.
I imagine. Yeah, I kind of.
I don't know
imagine
who
it might
that
be
guy
like
was, but he was a dead
was-
ringer.
He really was. He was. That was a cool movie.
Yeah, actually was. I was telling Claire about it,
Mhm.
and
My kids saw it.
I didn't want to go see it at first because like the premise seemed ridiculous.
Mm.
But then I was like, all right, I'm going to go in there and just buy it.
Mhm.
And it was fun.
I was a
This was a
failed
great
mother.
movie.
My children didn't know the Beatles, and so they went in cold.
Did they like the songs? They're like,
Yeah,
these
Yeah,
songs.
but they were totally like went in clean. Like they had no idea what it was all about.
Well,
cool.
Or the
fortunately for you,
Mhm.
Claire, our time is up, so you cannot be maligned or chastised for such an
This
event.
is why I timed it perfectly.
But
Until next week.
yeah, right. Paul, thank you so much,
Ah.
man, for making the trip and
Thank
for your incredible patience at the beginning of the program.
It was fun.
We learned about Saturn
We did. And whale sounds.
and whale sounds.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we
And the
try
guy
to give
from
something.
Wales.
And the guy from Wales. We definitely have an aquatic theme
It's a
here.
theme
this
Yep.
today.
Thanks to you,
I'm here for you. And major cities in Sweden.
because we got along swimmingly.
Swimming. Whoa.
All right, Paul. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys.
All
Thanks
right,
so much.
next week, Super Bowl Sunday. Laura Cheadle scheduled. Till then.